Hey, how's it going, PG? You're the afternoon step with Josie. And of course, I've got more good hits lined up for you, so stay tuned for that. But right now, check this song out, man. It's Golden City coming at you, 200 Ready for Your Love, right here on Today FM.
I'm ready for the start of something new. I'm ready for your love. I'm ready for your love. I'm ready for your love.
Fiji, I'm Josie, your host on the Afternoon Snap, every weekday from 12 to 3 p.m. right here on Today FM, Today's Hit Music.
I'm ready for my hands to touch the sky.
In this bulletin, Prime Minister and ministers briefed on swearing-in ceremony preparations. Careless fire proves costly for Nandi entrepreneur. And confidence in Lambasa's economy as new shops begin to trade. Hello and welcome to FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. Prime Minister Varenga Bainimarama and Cabinet Ministers have been briefed about preparations for the opening of Parliament by the Secretary-General to Parliament, Viniana Namosi Malua. Mainly administrative work is underway now to ensure a smooth start to the swearing-in ceremony tomorrow. Vasita Kote Wasawasa reports.
The Prime Minister arrived at the Parliamentary complex this afternoon. He was accompanied by Cabinet Ministers. On the grounds, tents were going up to cater for the large number of guests invited for the swearing-in ceremony tomorrow. The major refurbishment that saw the change from the courts to parliamentary facilities have been completed. From 7 a.m. tomorrow, movement around government buildings will be limited and there will be special security measures in place. Southern Cross Road behind the Albert Park Pavilion will be closed. Roadblocks will be erected at both ends to allow only official vehicles to enter from the Holiday Inn end and exit at the other end. Movement will also be restricted from the Masonic Hall entrance on Gladstone Road to allow identified government vehicles only. The public will, however, be able to access the roads by foot. These same security measures will be implemented from 7 a.m. on Tuesday for the opening of Parliament. All the parliamentarians will be sworn in by the Secretary-General to Parliament at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Vasita Kote Wasawasa, FBC News.
You can watch the swearing-in ceremony live on Fbctv tomorrow morning. Fiji Women's Crisis Centre Coordinator Shamima Ali says tomorrow will be a momentous day for women. Ali made the comments in light of Dr. Chico Luveni's appointment as Speaker of the House of Representatives. This is the first time the position will be held by a female, not just in Fiji, but in the Pacific region.
I believe she will do very well, and it's a great thing for us, for all of us. It's a recognition of women's leadership, and that's also about the women who are in Parliament, the women who stood, and it's a recognition of their leadership.
Dr. Chico Luveni is the former Minister for Social Welfare, Women and Poverty Alleviation. Now, a Nandi resident has suffered about $300,000 worth of damage to his farm at Udiwai following a grass fire. This is the third time Mark Wardle has lost his farm to a fire, but this year it's hit him the hardest. Christopher Chand reports.
Completely gone.
This is what remains of the Wardell farm on their 5.5-acre property. The vegetation has turned black from the fire which razed their land.
It is not funny anymore because, every time this happens, we have to plant everything. We have to take out all the plants that are damaged. We have to put in the new plants that are there, the time and the hassle working under the sun, on the hill especially. It's just, can't keep on doing this. What's going to happen? Next year we have to do it again and spend thousands of dollars to fix it. It's not funny anymore.
The fire started at around 1:30 p.m. on Friday. It was too big to stop and burnt everything in its path. The dry spell adding more fuel to the fire.
But this time somebody started the fire from a couple of hills back, so it came a quarter hour surprise. We just finished lunch, so the boys had a hard time fighting it. We don't know who's responsible for it, but this is the third time it's happened. Each year it's happened for the past 3 years, so it's been a hassle. It's a hard work to try and fix the damage that's done when somebody's not claimed responsibility for it,
The grass fires and bushfires have become a nuisance. The Waddells are not the only ones. Other residents in the area also feeling the heat of uncontrolled fires lit by irresponsible people. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Police Commissioner Major General Ben Hoonewald says policing families share a special and often unbreakable bond. Hoonewald adds this shared value holds them together in good and bad times and is a reflection of the bond and loyalty to each other. He was speaking at the Remembrance Day parade and Thanksgiving service in Suva today. The Fiji Police Force has lost 13 of its officers in September last year. Hoonewald paid tribute to the fallen officers for their service to the organization and the country. He also took the opportunity to thank all the officers for achieving a wonderful incident-free general election. Now there is a change taking shape in the northern town of Lambasa. Over the last few months, new shops and restaurants have opened their doors to customers. Vosita Kotewasawasa looks at the expansion that is taking place.
The future is looking brighter for this town, which has traditionally depended on and thrived during the cane crushing season. The Lunchbox restaurant is one of several new businesses to open for business in recent months.
Oh, definitely. It is expanding, and I think you have seen a few restaurants coming up. And there is another shop, I think Sport City is soon will be open in Lambasa. And there is Vision Motors, and recently, that's Lunchbox has just opened, and there was another restaurant, Banana Leaf Restaurant, was opened again this year. So, and there's a few other businesses. More Beauty Parlor has started in Lambasa. I think people are using that benefit, and the growth is in the north.
The government's Look North policy has attracted investors. However, Kumar believes there is still more potential to be explored.
They should give some type of incentive to the local businesses as well as the outside investors so they can invest more. Because in Lambasa, the main problem is the freight factor from the other island to this.
In the town, the market is also undergoing a facelift and funding has been provided by government.
It is a double-story structured market, and because of the short of space in the market area, we decided to have a double-story structure. Now the top structure, we are trying to see that we have light good products there like the kava and spices and all that, and the bottom will stay as the vegetable market.
With these developments taking place, the benefits are numerous. There is employment and improvement to people's livelihoods and lifestyles. Lambasa is poised for better times ahead. Vosita Kotewasawasa, FBC News.
Coming up after the break, Muslims celebrate Festival of Sacrifice, Eid ul-Adha.
Isang mula na mo cuma na matang ni ko ni rongon ni bibo na matang kay misa po. Niya na isang mula na sir ko ni sana. Cuma kira na mo cuma. Tu na sile. Isang mula, oyo Mr. Ben. Kela pa. Na magkikira ni bibo mataka mo ni kira mo rombo ka man ono kina diwa na bula FM. Ambala.
Welcome back. The CEO of the Carpenters Group of Companies, Sir Morgan Lodinadin, says Fiji will need to completely cut off red tape to attract more foreign investors. The Carpenters Group is the largest company in the country and it estimates to make up about 8% of the economy.
Fiji, in my personal experience over 5-10 years, 15 years I've been coming in and out of this lovely country. Red tape is a legacy from past. We've had governments that have been semi-socialist in the past with socialist thinking, so a lot of red tape has built up. You need to clear all that red tape because foreign investors need to know what's on the table even before they turn up. And when they do turn up, it's not the warm welcome that's going to make them happy to invest in this country. It's the clear-cut decision-making process and what's on the table that's on offer that's going to make them.
Now you can watch the full interview with Sir Morgan in our current affairs program For the Record straight after the news. Development at informal or squatter settlements is high on the government's agenda. And the NGO, the People's Community Network, says this is possible with the government's adoption of the housing model that has been implemented at Langilangi settlement in Jittu Estate, Suva. Maggie Boyle has more.
Of course, through our manifestos you've seen, we've said development for squatters. We've got Father Kevin Barr, who we've been working with in Langilangi Estate. How can we expedite that?
Owning your own home for most is a dream come true. And for families residing in informal settlements, that dream is a little closer to reality.
We see housing as being critical. There's so many people in squatter settlements, over 220 squatter settlements in the country. So the model we've set is really getting funding from government as well as some overseas funding, and also people contributing in terms of gradually buying off the units which they will own.
Success or otherwise of this model, according to Father Barr, will rest on the future homeowners.
It's a model, I suppose, which involves people and is not just top-down decisions. We're involving people in all the planning and everything. So it's very much participatory, people's participation.
To ensure the viability of the housing project and its rollout across the country, an affordable payment plan will be in place.
And people will be contributing they'll be paying off each week. 2-bedroom units, $40, 3-bedroom units, $50, and so over a 12-year period, then people will own them. It'll be strata title, so people will own it. We'll keep control of the land, but people will have that as security.
Langilangi housing project, when completed, will include 160 units. This will include a play centre, a kindergarten, a community centre, as well as public transport bays. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
The Nandi Weather Office has issued a damaging heavy swell warning for southern parts of the country. The warning is in place for southern Vitilevu, Kandavu, Benga, Vatulele nearby islands, Mamanuza and the southern Lao group. The Nandi Weather Office says an intense high-pressure system to the southwest of Fiji is causing these heavy swells. Waves of up to 3.5 to 4.5 meters can be expected in open waters. Muslims around the country are celebrating Eid ul-Adha today. It is also known as the Festival of the Sacrifice. Those who can afford sacrifice their best domestic animals as a symbol of Abraham's willingness to sacrifice his only son. To mark this occasion, members of the Islamic women's group in Samabula, Suva, distributed meat to 40 underprivileged families. Group President Gul Nashin Deen says they've been doing this for more than 7 years.
The meat is supposed to be divided into 3 portions. One is supposed to be used for the family as your own consumption, and the second part is given to your family and close friends and relatives. The third portion is supposed to be given to the poor. So the poor, we are looking at, we are an organization in Suva that actually looks after about 40 families, the underprivileged, and we are giving them food rations every month. So we have actually decided to ask the people of Suva who are actually doing the sacrifices to actually give the meat to us so we can distribute it on their behalf to these recipients.
Eid ul-Adha also interfaces with the annual Muslim event of Hajj or pilgrimage to Mecca. In our Successful Fijian segment tonight, FBC News looks at Fijian Holdings Limited, which in 30 years has become one of the most successful ventures. With $450 million in assets and 19 companies under its umbrella, FHL is poised to pump more money into the economy with new projects. Chanel Sivan looks at the success and future investments of FHL.
Fijian Holdings Limited was started off in 1984 through a $20 million government loan facilitated by the then Fijian Affairs Board and was later converted to a grant. Today it has become a powerful investor, a mover and shaker in the Fiji economy.
The people who started had a vision that we need to start a commercial enterprise whereby you can facilitate the commercial participation of indigenous Fijian. And today we are really proud we have achieved that objective, that vision to some extent.
Its shareholders include provincial councils, the Native Land Trust Board, the Fijian Affairs Board, Tikina and village groups, Fijian cooperatives, individual Fijians and family companies.
We are really proud what we have done so far. And our journey is not at end. Our destination is far, far away. And we always believe we are living in a continuous journey. Our medium-term dream is that we want to become a 500 million company. Our shareholders always says when they want to see Fijian Holding Limited as a $1 billion company. And our response to that is we are not far away.
The company has a total assets of more than $450 million and the shareholders' equity is more than $200 million. They have investments in 19 companies and total shareholder of around 1,300. In total, it provides jobs for 1,600 people.
Before 2015, we are about to make an investment in a renewable energy company, and which is not made public so far, so it will be happening within a few weeks. And thereafter is our FHL Tower project. And while we are discussing that, we'll be, of course, which we have made public is our cinema project. We are just starting with 4 cinemas in Dundee. The cinema will become operational before Christmas. And next year, also, we are also planning a few more investments in energy sector, in food and entertainment, in property. So we have planned, there's a planned set of investments we are planning. At the same time, we are also planning to have 1 or 2 divestments. Fijian Holdings is a conglomerate, is an investment company. We acquire companies, and we also, if the company is not in line with us, and if we have made money, and if we see that there is no much future being within us, we will divest.
With $80 million in dividends paid out since inception, FHL is now targeting a $1 billion portfolio. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Coming up after the break, positive start for snooker charity event. And Nanranga prepares to meet Vatukola after beating Namosi.
यू ट्रेंड से मिर्ची एफएम पर रफ्तार में मैं यहाँ आपके हम सफर साथी कृष्णील शामिल हो चुका हूँ और फिजी में विदेश में आप जहाँ कहीं पर भी हमें सुन रहे हैं, कृष्णील का प्यार आप तमाम दोस्तों तक पहुँचे। हेलो गाइस, मैं हूँ डीजे कृष्णील। आप हमें सुन सकते हैं मिर्ची एफएम रफ्तार में मंडे टू फ्राइडे शाम 3 से लेकर रात 7 तक हम आपको रॉक कराएंगे। मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट। अब दिल करता है हौले हौले से मैं तो खुद को गले लगाऊं।
Welcome to FBC Sports. The BLK Nanranga side proved too strong for Namosi in their HFC Bank Fairbrother Trophy clash yesterday, winning by a comfortable 43-5 margin. It was almost a repeat of last weekend's rout against Tailevu, as the Stallions proved once again why they are the premier champions of provincial rugby. Chalendo Dakadaka reports.
And then puts Ratuva to the ground.
The BLK Nanranga side came out firing once again in the 6th HFC Bank Fairbrother Trophy Challenge. Namosi showed some promise of wresting the silverware, but once the Stallions found their footing, there was no stopping them.
For us, Nanranga, we capitalize on all opportunities that comes our way, and we were able to turn those into points. That was the way we can that we have seen the game yesterday, and we are happy that we are able to come out victorious.
Matawalu says there is no time yet to celebrate as they prepare for Vatukola next weekend.
As long as they have earned that spot to challenge for the Fairbrother, it reveals the strength that are there in the team and the spot that they've earned through their hard work in the season. So with that, our approach towards Vatukola is just the same as the previous matches that we've played.
The BLK Nanranga side will return to the field from tomorrow and prepare for yet another challenge against an unpredictable Vatukola side. Chalendo Dakadak, FBC Sports.
The Bar football side looked to have secured a win over Lotoka in the Courts Inter-District Championship this afternoon. Chone Vesikula scored a goal in the 7th minute of the match for the men in black and held on to the slender lead right up until injury time. Lautoka veteran defender Penny Finau scored the equaliser in the dying stages of the match. And the court's IDC will continue next weekend. The Southern Billiards and Snookers charity event in Suva recorded a positive turnout over the past 2 days. The calendar event is gaining acclaim among members for the competition as well as the noble causes it supports. Chalendo Dakadaka has more.
The Merchant Club in Suva was a hype of activity today as the charity snooker event reached the final stages. The tournament drew 48 players over the past 2 days. Organizers are glad with the turnout as the competition serves a more profound purpose.
All the collection are going to be taken away to old people's home. And not forgetting teams came all the way from Nosori, Singatoka and other areas as well. Couple of these tournaments has been very well organized, and we are looking forward to do more charitable work again this year.
The charity tournament is a highlight event for players and officials as it allows them to support a goodwill cause.
We did it last year. We gave all the benefits to the Fiji Cancer Society. There was a couple of years ago when there was a flood in the West. We donated a few $1,000s to the Prime Minister's flood appeal, and we've done similar charity organizations in the past.
For the players, the tournament is a stepping stone to bigger competitions coming up later in the year. Chalendo Dakadaka, FBC Sports.
And finally, South Sydney Rabbitohs forward Sam Burgess is taking a laid-back approach in the build-up to the NRL Grand Final tonight. The South Sydney Rabbitohs will take on Canterbury Bulldogs in the NRL Final at 8:20 p.m. Cloud and rain was pretty much the order of today at the centres observed by the Nadi Weather Office. Temperatures were in the high 20s and early 30s, with Ba and Lautoka recording the highest temperature of 33 degrees. Expect fine weather in the morning in all the centres except Suva and Savu, which are expected to get off to a cloudy morning. And a strong wind warning remains in force for Kandavu and Vatuira passages. A damaging heavy swell warning remains in force for southwest Viti Levu, Mamanuda, southern Lao Waters and the Kandavu passage. Expect rough seas. The main points again: Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama and Cabinet Ministers have been briefed about preparations for the opening of Parliament. A Nandi resident has suffered about $300,000 worth of damage to his farm at Udiwai following a grass fire. And the CEO of the Carpenters Group of Companies, Sir Morgan Lodinadine, says Fiji will need to completely cut off red tape to attract more foreign investors. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizens@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FBC News. If you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or hashtag FBC News. That's all from me. You can join the team again tomorrow. Have a blessed week. I will be back again next Saturday.
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर आपका स्वागत है बच्चों की दुनिया में। हमेशा की तरह आज भी हम आपके लिए कहानियाँ और कविताएं लेकर आए हैं और बच्चों आप हमें कॉल भी कर सकते हैं। नमस्कार, मैं हूँ पल्लवी। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर मंडे टू फ्राइडे 3 से लेकर 4 बजे तक बच्चों की दुनिया में और 4 से लेकर 7 बजे तक मस्तानी शाम के सफर में शामिल रहिए मेरे साथ।